Element's amazing silk bear let out a furious cry, and with a violent riot, it directly burst the formation formed by the 5 people. Boo! With an explosion, the 5 people were directly blown out by the force of the formation's backlash. Pust! Bai landed on the ground and spat out a mouthful of blood directly, looking extremely injured. Roar! After bursting these attacks away, the 5 Elements' amazing silk bear didn't continue to chase after them. Instead, he roared in place. Be careful, Supreme Envoy. This is going to unleash its innate divine ability, the explosive amazing bomb. Seeing the appearance of the 5 Elements' amazing silk bear, Bai immediately shouted as if he had thought of something. Being reminded, these cultivators didn't care about their injuries and surged their spiritual energy, bringing out one defensive aptitude and spiritual weapon to make a defensive stance. The 5 Elements' amazing silk bear roared. Furious, it didn't place its gaze on Bai, the 5 people who had trapped it. Instead, it was staring at Xiao Qian with a deadly stare, because inside its perception, the threat this person gave it was even more powerful than these thieves, and the pressure shook its heart and soul. He trusted his instincts, even though the other man hadn't struck him down. Anon, the 5 Elements' amazing silk bear howled again, and a huge 5-colored fireball directly attacked towards the direction where Xiao Qian was. Humph! I didn't even look for trouble with you, and you even came over to attack me. You really don't know how to die. Xiao Qian coldly shouted and directly drew out a turquoise longsword, the longsword that flickered with spiritual light, none of which indicated that it was extraordinary. Unfortunately, none of the people around it put their eyes on it. Instead, it was placed on Xiao Qian's body, because they clearly understood that their lives and their gains were in the hands of the other party. If he lost, not only would he have to run away in a mess, but more importantly, he might not gain anything from this trip, and he would also be traumatized, only to see Xiao Qian's spirit sword waving, hundreds of meters long, dazzling and incomparable sword aura flashed by, slightly noiselessly. After the sword swept past, the 5 Elements' amazing silk bear stood in place, holding up a pair of giant hands, with a bloodthirsty light still flickering in its eyes as it stood there motionless. Just as Bai and the others were incredibly surprised as to why this ferocious beast wasn't moving, the 5 Elements' amazing silk bear's body directly cracked open and collapsed onto the ground with a thud. All that was left was a loud bang. Boo! Bai and the others looked at each other, and there was an extremely frightened and shocked look in their eyes. They could not have imagined that the person they invited was so powerful. The 5 Elements' amazing silk bear, an 8th grade ferocious beast they couldn't even handle, was surprisingly not a one-round opponent in the other party's hands. Looking at Xiao Qian, they all knew that they absolutely could not provoke these two at this time. Otherwise, this ferocious beast has already been decapitated by me. So come over and distribute the loot. Xiao Qian said indifferently as she took her sword back into its scabbard. It was as if decapitating an 8th grade ferocious beast was not worth mentioning to her. But this one does too. For a heavenly pride existence like Xiao Qian, she was able to decapitate a mortalization realm existence during the heavenly realm period. Not to mention the fact that he had now become a transfiguration mortal realm cultivator. Slaying an 8th grade ferocious beast was nothing more than a matter of hand-to-hand combat. This time Lord Shang Ambassador has contributed the most. So it's been a long time since we had to pay the rest of the price for the demon pills and ferocious beast's blood, right? The leader of the 5 said respectfully. The words and also the demeanor were extremely respectful. It's a reverence for the powerful. Xiao Qian, buy it at the price. We are not a stingy person. Chu Feng shook his head and directly rejected their proposal. Indeed, this was the case. For cultivators like them, a little bit of a district spirit stone was something completely not worth mentioning. Xiao Qian directly handed a storage bag to these 5 people, and then with a wave of her hand, she divided the ferocious beasts and took out the demon pills from them and handed them over to Chu Feng. And then it took out its heart, and between surges of spiritual energy, it extracted the essence blood of the 5 Elements' amazing silk bear and put it into a small jade bottle. Many thanks to you 2 lords. We, the 5 of White Mountain, owe you 2 lords a favor. As long as you want what you invite, we will come to help. Bai Shan received the ferocious beast's corpse as well as the storage bag and said with extreme joy. The words still smelled of submission. If there's nothing going on this time, you guys should leave first. We have some more searching to do here, Chu Feng directly said. As for the 5 of them, they were of no use to Chu Feng right now. But later on it's a moot point. Gongzi, why are you staying here? Are there other good things here? After these people left, Xiao Qian asked with some doubt. Indeed, but I'm not so sure it's any good. So just follow me. Without saying anything more, Chu Feng released the golden eagle and drove it toward the depths of the secret realm. This golden eagle he had taken in a few days ago with the help of Xiao Qian. Now it's just right for catching up. As for protection, with Xiao Qian present, Chu Feng did not believe that anyone would be able to attack him. However, with the golden eagle present, he was also able to provide himself with an additional layer of protection. Dog. This should be it. Under the Golden Eagle's rapid traveling, the two of them didn't spend much time before arriving in an odd valley. Layers and layers of 5 elemental auras were operating in a chaotic manner, and the strange aura emanating from them made even Xiao Qian's face change slightly. Gongzi, be careful. There's danger here. Understanding the situation over here, Xiao Qian said directly. Indeed, but you help me probe why this situation has appeared here. Chu Feng said with a slightly pleased expression on his face. The sight that appeared here was a complete opportunity. One must know that in the outside world, a ferocious beast like the amazing silk bear was an 8th grade existence in terms of strength, and the attributes are all fire. But the one they met was a 5-element one. To say that there wasn't a heavy treasure here, he wouldn't even believe it. End of chapter. Chapter 141. Chapter 141. There's not much danger out there for me, but not for you. So if I go in, you'd better release the Golden Eagle and protect it. After all, we haven't even explored this secret realm completely, and the dangers in it are unknown. Xiao Qian did not refuse. To him, Chu Feng was everything to her. On the contrary, she was instead more worried that she hadn't protected Chu Feng after she went in, fearing that he would be in danger. Well, I'll pay attention, and so will you. If there's danger, leave first and wait until you're stronger later to come over and investigate. Chu Feng said to Xiao Qian. I'll be watching out for you instead. Hearing Chu Feng's concern, Xiao Qian was not worried in the slightest. Although the 5 elemental auras here were extremely violent, even an 8th grade ferocious beast like the 5 elemental amazing silk bear was able to reap the benefits, not to mention a powerful transfiguration mortal realm cultivator like her. However, she was still somewhat joyful inwardly at Chu Feng's concern, because it meant that she still had weight in Chu Feng's heart. After waiting for Chu Feng to follow what she said and release the Golden Eagle to protect his safety, Xiao Qian propped up the protective shield and directly walked in. What's wrong with this nymphette, caring about me so much? Chu Feng looked at Xiao Qian's back and could not help but laugh. Let's hope she's not too impulsive. Though, don't leave your life in there instead in order to fulfill the mission I gave you. Chu Feng had a strange feeling when he entered this secret realm. That was that there was something here that was extremely helpful for one's cultivation. After coming here and seeing the state of these 5 elemental auras mingling, he immediately knew why it gave him such an attractive feeling. It turned out that it was his own 5 elemental qualifications that had been raised, causing his own primaries to be sensed. I just don't know if there will be anything inside that will surprise him. More than an hour had passed without realizing it. In the aura where the 5 elements of aura mingled, no other conditions appeared on the side except for a slight change after the appearance of a slight change. This caused Chu Feng's worries to decrease quite a bit. He was really afraid that after Xiao Qian seized inside, she encountered a horrible crisis, making her stay inside. Under these days together, unconsciously, Xiao Qian also left a lot of traces in his heart. This feeling was complicated, and Chu Feng did not know what to do with it. After all, no man is an island. Suddenly, the aura inside the canyon surged and changed unpredictably, and seeing this situation, Chu Feng immediately became alert and immediately shouted, "Ha! What's happening? Golden Eagle alert! Z!" The Golden Eagles immediately began to be on guard at Chu Feng's command. A pair of eagle eyes stared dead inside. Steeply, it violently rushed towards the inside of the canyon. A pair of sharp claws clawing directly inside. Sharp mouth, striking straight inside. After Chu Feng discovered its behavior, under the operation of his spiritual energy, his eyes emitted a terrifying light that abruptly shot inside. With his eyes shaking under the spiritual power, he immediately saw the situation inside. It was a familiar figure. After seeing that, Chu Feng immediately blocked the Golden Eagle road. "Gold! Come back!" Upon hearing Chu Feng's shouts, the Golden Eagle's figure gave a violent lurch and charged straight inward a distance before stopping, and then violently flew back to Chu Feng's side. A pair of eagle eyes stared in dead center, alert to what was going on inside. In the eagle's beak, he also kept shouting, "Z!" That anxious appearance was as if it was persuading Chu Feng to hurry up and leave this place. Sensing the Golden Eagle's mood, Chu Feng smiled and gently patted the other party with his right hand, comforting him. "It's okay, this man is on our side. He's no danger to us." The figure inside came slowly, getting closer and closer, and Chu Feng saw the other party clearly. She was none other than the coquette who went inside. Within moments, Xiao Qian came out of it. When Chu Feng saw her, he immediately ran up and asked with some concern on his face, "Nothing happened, did it? How's it going in there?" Xiao Qian did not answer Chu Feng's question, but instead said to Chu Feng joyfully, "My lord, do you know what I found in there?" She clasped her hands together as she spoke, completely letting Chu Feng guess. The look was as dainty and cute as a little girl who offered a treasure. Looking at the Xiao Qian of this appearance, Chu Feng also said in an extremely cooperative manner, What is it that makes you so cheerful? I guess it should be a treasure that will help me in my cultivation. Xiao Qian heard this, her face slightly burnt red, and her hands made a gesture to hit Chu Feng. Said, Gongzi is just bad. There is no speculation on anything. Directly say a wide range of things. It is not at all a sincere look. This thing will not be given to you. With that, she made a move to walk away. Seeing her in this state, Chu Feng hurriedly admitted his mistake. Hey, it's the male's fault. It's the male's fault. Should have been more concerned about Cochisa's state first, worrying about what happened to you in there. Hearing Chu Feng say that, Xiao Qianfeng turned back and said, Humph, seeing as you're so sincere, I'll take the item out for you. Gongzi, it's something I've managed to take out with great difficulty. Look, Xiao Qian took out a chaotic, spiritual Qi Ran bead with extreme pride and placed it in front of Chu Feng. It was like a small child offering a treasure. Pertinently, her eyes were closed, and the look of pride was so close to being written out explicitly that it said to hurry over and praise her in general. As Chu Feng looked at her in this appearance, he couldn't help but smile slightly and walked directly to her side, touching her head and said, Xiao Qian is really a little cotton-padded jacket for Gongzi. How could she find such a good thing for Gongzi? This thing is of great use to Gongzi. When Gongzi goes back and his strength improves, he will refine pills for Yuha. Hey, it's all the coquettish thing to do. After receiving Chu Feng's praise, Xiao Qian's complexion also became joyful and she hurriedly said, after the two had talked here some more, only then did Chu Feng release the golden eagle once again, directly allowing it to carry himself and Xiao Qian away together. With this thing in place, when the time comes for quenching, the physique will definitely be able to be upgraded by a level. And most importantly, the strength will also be able to receive an extremely high increase. In the sky above the golden eagle, Chu Feng played with this bead in his hand, a look of delight in his eyes. This bead was a 9th grade small mixed bead. This thing could only be used as a treasure to enhance spiritual power and gather spiritual power for other people. But for a cultivator with 5 elemental spiritual roots like Chu Feng, but it's a supreme treasure. The first was to be able to help Chu Feng improve his qualifications, and the second was to be able to allow Chu Feng to slowly draw in energy and rapidly improve his cultivation level. And that just happened to coincide with what Chu Feng was preparing to do just fine. This stuff came at the right time, because he had come to Tongzhou City to improve his qualifications. Now it is just good to get this little mixed bead. It can be said that the heavens help him, yeah. Without realizing it, the two of them, Chu Feng, arrived at the exit where the secret realm was located. Suddenly, Chu Feng realized that there seemed to be 5 silhouettes outside. Connecting to the situation that occurred in Tongzhou City, Chu Feng was immediately alert. One of his hands was also not intuitively placed into his bosom, ready to pull out the exploding amazing Dan from his bosom to fight against the enemy. As he got closer and closer, he realized that these figures seemed somewhat familiar, and then he perceived them more carefully. Aren't these the same 5 people from the White Mountain group? Seeing that it was these people, his outward vigilance had not yet been put away, but he relaxed quite a bit inside. After all, we've worked together before. Arriving in front of these few people, Chu Feng opened his mouth and asked, you guys haven't left yet? The 5 people looked at each other, and in the end, it was Bai Yi, who was familiar with Chu Feng and the others, who stepped forward and said, Supreme Envoy, we just felt like taking advantage of you and felt in our hearts that we had taken advantage of you, so we are ready to leave here together. After all, we are taking advantage of you anyhow. The moment Chu Feng heard those words, he immediately understood. This is intended to be put under your own tutelage. With a thought in mind, it was easy to understand the situation of these people and the way to cultivate. Immediately, with a slight smile, he said, okay, let's go back together then, while knowing what these people think, and their situation. But he didn't point it out directly, although he has such power and resources of his own. But their own strength is where they are vulnerable, and it's best to make them soft if you want to take them in. If you were to soften up first, things would not be easy to handle. They were the first to submit, and him to personally recruit. Those are 2 different approaches and costs. Upon hearing his reply, a slight look of disappointment appeared on the faces of the 5 Bai Shan people, but they didn't say anything more and smiled. Then, he directly followed Chu Feng and the others to leave in one piece. On the way, Chu Feng changed to inquire about Xiao Qian's encounters and insights inside that canyon. After a bit of understanding, Chu Feng realized that it was filled with some 5 elements of mixed auras. These auras are big dangers to weak beings, but for heaven realm cultivators or ferocious beasts, it was able to temper their flesh.